You're watching Palm Springs Point of View, your Eats, Arts, Culture social media provider.
So don't touch that dial.
Stay with us, because we have a lot to talk about today, right?
Well, you know, right when we think the season is over, Conrad, there are
Something else comes
more
along.
events.
Exactly.
And what's kind of cool now is becoming more local. I mean, local art, things that are just going to be happening all summer long, and it's kind of fun.
Most definitely. And today we're going to be talking about some literature, we're going to be talking about some art, and we're going to be talking about some music.
All right.
We love talking about our art, and especially our local artists and architects. And you spoke recently with one of those individuals by the name of Robin Abrahams. Tell us a little bit about her.
Well, Robin's very interesting because she's trained as an architect, and she will tell you all about how she morphed back into her art training recently. And look at these beautiful monoprints she's doing. Here's an example, and there's going to be a lot more in this video, so let's have a look. Robin, it's great to have you, and this is a beautiful, whoa, I am in awe of your work. Can you explain a little about what brought you to printmaking, and then we'll go a little into the process and your beautiful pieces?
As an undergrad, I studied art. I moved right into going to architecture school, and architecture captured my attention so much that literally I didn't do much in the way of art for decades and decades. Instead of looking to my architecture for inspiration, I really have started to look to my world. So my world of the environment and sort of softness of the environment. And my world that it does include all the things that were part of architecture, mid-century modern, for instance, and some of the forms that you might see that are associated with mid-century modern might show up in my work. So what I'm doing are monoprints. So monoprints, each one is unique. There's no such thing as a duplicate.
And I know with Desert Open Studios, you were showing and actually selling some of these really beautiful. I mean, I really think your work is striking.
This one is part of, or these are both part of a
series. Is this a series?
Yeah, called Woman.
Oh, I kind of see.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. I do have a work that is going to be shown even in the coming week as part of a sale that is a fundraiser for AIDS Memorial Sculpture Project. Philip K. Smith's piece that is going in at the downtown park.
And Robin, so glad you're part of this whole group and you're extending your art out to the community. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Robin, she's very creative. Right? I love the idea when someone has one way of looking at life and then they do something else and it's just as successful, and that's what she does.
Well, and it's interesting too, as we talked about Owen Masterson, you know how you're very studied, as he is a photographer, very studied with architecture, and the art is very freeing, you know, no two are alike. And also being involved in this art for sale was very, very interesting. I know you had a chance to go.
I went early. You went for the opening, the party, right? And successful. And I believe all of the art was sold.
Exactly. And all of this goes to the HIV/AIDS Memorial Sculpture, which is designed and will be constructed by Philip K. Smith, and it will be in the downtown park.
Coming to the desert soon.
So there are many fundraising events that will be sort of surfacing throughout the course of, I'd say, the next several months.
Several months, exactly.
And you can donate online to this amazing sculpture to have this in our park. Well, Conrad, I know you were recently over at the LGBTQ+ Community Center, where you had a chance to talk with the author Raymond Luczak about his book, Widower 48 Seeks Husband. And what's really interesting is that Raymond is hearing impaired, and you had a chance to interview him.
That's right. Let's take a look.
Very interesting.
We are here at the LGBT Community Center here in Palm Springs because we're talking with this gentleman. He is author Raymond Luczak, who has a new book out called Widower 48 Seeks Husband.
Hello, my name is Raymond Luczak. This is my sign name. I'm an author of a new book, Widower, age 48, Seeks Husband.
This is not your first book. I believe you are 30 books in or so.
That is correct.
The book that you have now, are all the 30 books following those characters, or is this book just about these characters?
It's just about these characters. I like each book to be different. I don't like to repeat myself. And what is the story about? It's about Tim and his lover, and they've been together for several years. And Tim is very, very popular, and then he passes away. And his partner doesn't know what to do when he passes away. So the story follows really two characters. A man who's very masculine, very proud, very active, but also doesn't really know who his identity is without his partner. And then it also follows the character of a transgender woman who works as an embalmer, but at night she's an MC for a drag queen show. So there's a lot, there's a lot of issues related with identity and with how to present and how to be accepted.
And one of the reasons that I really enjoyed this book is that I think I know every one of those characters in my friends.
Oh my!
And that's a good thing, because I think as a reader, it really grabs me and makes me want to stay and find out.
Thank you.
And so are these characters any friends of yours that you know, people you may know, or are they just something you thought of?
Well, really there's two categories. The first category, there are characters, of course, that we invent. They're fictional. And then there are the real life characters. There are some real life characters that I've researched.
This book is about 220 pages or so long. It reads very easy and very fast. How long did it take you to actually write the book?
I actually wrote this book like about 12 years ago. It was a while ago. I finished it and then I forgot that I wrote it. I was busy. I tend to write 2 or 3 books a year. I get very busy. So I forgot about this book, and then I noticed the publisher's name, Rattling Good Yarns, and I noticed like that has a strong, interest for me. Like it needs a good story. A publisher with that name, maybe I should send them this story. So I sent it to the publisher, and they liked it. They signed a contract, and so here we are.
Ta-da! So we can
Exactly.
Right? Yes.
Yes, exactly. That's how we clap.
So thank you for letting us come here today. You will be doing a reading here at the center. We hope to have a lot of people here, because I can tell you I am halfway through the book and I'm stuck in it. I'm ready to go. I want to know what the next chapter is about.
Yay! Yay! Thank you so much. Thank you for reading it. Thanks. Bye.
Well, that was really interesting. Yeah. I want to read this book.
It's a good one.
I think it's funny, the embalmer by day and drag queen hostess by night. We can relate to that.
One of the many characters. And the book is, it really follows about 3 or 4 characters, and you get to know who they are. The way he writes is very specific and it's enjoyable. And I think anybody that may have lost a partner in the recent years, you will really find interesting story with some humor inside it also.
And this is a national book tour for Raymond.
That's right.
Even though the book has been written, 12 years ago, very interesting because the publisher happens to be in Cathedral City.
That's right. Glad to have them all here.
Yeah. And upcoming this week on the calendar is the Joshua Tree Music Festival.
That's
if you haven't been, get your tickets because it is a really cool event.
If you don't like to do the big events like Coachella and Stagecoach, this one is a nice local small one. Two stages all together. Yoga, food, art. It's going to be a blast. Very bohemian weekend.
Very great. That's Thursday through Sunday, the 18th through 24th. Get your tickets. You might see us there because we will be there.
That's right. And remember, if you go to any of these events, make sure you tell them that you saw it here at Palm Springs Point of View, your Eats, Arts, Cultures social media provider.
That's right. And we will see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.